A lot of artists are justifiably upset about the emergence of AI, and there are legitimate complaints about theft and worries about livelihoods. You can watch previous videos on this channel to see me being quite critical of AI. But in this video, I want to show you 6 AI art projects that I think are actually worthwhile. So let's get right into it. So I think the main thing about AI-generated art is that because it's so easy to generate so much material, the only way to get at something truly interesting is to have an artist acting as curator and editor, strictly defining a pretty narrow focus. Hassan Ragab, an Egyptian designer, architect, and conceptual artist in California, is doing just that with some of his image series. I particularly like his Writings on the Walls series, in which he imagines, with the help of Midjourney, modern interior spaces incorporating intricate hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian architecture. This is an exploration of identity for Ragab, and for me it's an interesting and unexpected way of making these ancient designs fit into a modern context, really bringing them from the realm of the dead to the here and now. There's a similar curatorial prowess at work in these images from the Instagram account Planet Fantastique. Sienna O'Rourke is continuously world-building a sort of bizarre 70s retro-futuristic glam universe, featuring a lot of pink and orange hues. Each individual image may occasionally look like just another AI generation, but I think cumulatively this series of images finds a more distinct voice or a distinct point of view, a rare commodity in the world of AI art. Homo Aliens is another account that, despite coming from the scamalicious world of NFTs, presents a stark, consistent artistic voice with a high-fashion conceptual art feel. These images incorporate a lot of white bubbles, balloons, furballs, and pearls as a thematic focus, and a specific kind of lighting and color palette to create a pretty intriguing world. I'm definitely not a fashion expert, but I sort of feel like I could see this series of images in like a high-concept editorial fashion magazine spread. So, pretty cool. We're staying in the NFT realm, regrettably, for this series by Troy Gaynard. I hope I'm saying his name right. This series is called Flow Dynamics. I think there's a sort of late-stage capitalism poetry to these undulating lines of trains, trucks, and shipping containers, invoking great animal migrations or other natural processes. To be honest, I think these would possibly feel more powerful to me if they were real paintings or done in some other handmade medium, just for the kind of push and pull between the subject matter and something more tangible, but I can appreciate this concept. Now, this next one is something a little different. Artist and photographer John Kelly has taken an interesting approach to AI art with his series entitled Boring America Photorealism. Rather than letting the AI generate its usual fantastic and overly dramatic imagery, Kelly directs it to create the most restrained, average-looking amateur photos possible, the kind of casual photos non-artists like your aunt in Kansas would take with a cheap point-and-shoot camera and share on Facebook. What makes these images interesting then is the tension between what this looks like and what it actually is. A robot's attempt at human normality, often slightly stuck in an uncanny valley. The typical AI downfalls, like strange artifacts and messed up hands, become assets to this series of images as they highlight the unrealness. And in a way, they make normal human activities look more strange and alien, which I always endorse. Alright, so rounding out this list, An Improbable Future is an AI project exploring industrial design and transportation design of the future, influenced by the past. Basically, these are product shots of roughed up, dirty devices and vehicles that don't exist. They look like they come from a post-apocalyptic sci-fi universe, which is a bit of a run-of-the-mill focus. It's not very original. But I think these are generally nicely curated with a mostly coherent aesthetic and color palette. It's not high art, but I think it's a nice example of more of a mood board type of usage of AI. Alright, so there you have it. Hit that like button for me and let me know of any other AI art projects worth looking at in the comments below. I should mention here that I left out some pretty interesting work by more established fine artists who are incorporating AI in their work in a more complex way, often using their own custom programming or even robotics. I may do a video on that in the future, and there's only one way to find out. I cover all of these topics in videos every week, so get subscribed, because if you do, then the following sign-off might actually possibly be true. See you next week.